Hey guys, how are you doing today? So I am kicking off yet another look for my everyday lookbook series, and I hope you like this one. I got inspired from yet another Pinterest image. I have good old Kira here with me today to help inspire us to do kind of keep with earth tones but really amp it up a notch and maybe try some new things like adding that flesh color to our lower lash line and things like that, and just amping things up a notch but not necessarily amping up the skill level and it being really tricksy. No, nothing like that. So if you're curious how I got this look and you want to give this style a shot and kind of step outside your comfort zone and just do something a little bit more, then please do follow along and we'll do this together. Okie dokie friends, let's get things started by moisturizing our face. I am going to use a sample, so typical of me. This is the OLEHENRIKSEN. It's like the C-Rush cream. Smells yummy. Smells like, kind of smells like oranges a little bit. Okay, so we've got that nice plush base, and while that just sits and just breathes for a second, let's just actually start with the eyes. So for this whole series, I have been turning to Pinterest to help inspire me more, especially for everyday looks, to just make them doable, but just really step outside the comfort zone and what we can kind of tend to typically do. So here's a look that I found from Keira Knightley that I think is pretty good. So what I like about this is that it's actually a very basic soft browns. It's a little stronger on camera, but one of the techniques she has done is put a white or nude eyeliner in her lower waterline to help open up the eye while doing actually very basic eyeshadow. So we're going to do a light one on the lid here and then some dark browns in the outer corner and on the lower lash line, and then keep the rest of the face pretty neutral with some bold brows. And that's kind of our look today. I'm going to use the Instant Age Rewind as my eyelid primer, and I'm going to put this all over the place generously. I'm going to grab a mirror. So I'm just going to place this all over. It's nice and easy to get everywhere because of this sponge. It just helps to neutralize all our veins or discoloration that we might have. That is very, very common. As well as giving the eyeshadow something to really adhere to and just kind of really cling to for the whole day so that you don't ever have to think twice about your makeup. Today I'm going to use the matte edition from Bobbi Brown. They're just really, really basic everyday nudes that can go for anyone, because you get some nice dark rich browns, you get some mauves, some grays, and then you get that light bone color, Ivory. I'm going to use my all over shadow brush from Sephora. So we're giving it that nice bright white look, like I see in the photo. Make sure to get that inner corner to really brighten that up. And just stick to the mobile lid here. So anywhere below the crease. I'm going to take the shade Birch, which is kind of like an olivey tone gray. I'm going to place that all over my crease. And one thing that I noticed in this photo, and I mean, it really depends on your eye shape, because she has a very distinct eye shape, but in the makeup look, she went all the way to the inner corner here of that crease, and that's what can sometimes give a slight twist to our everyday eyeshadow, especially if you're used to using these kind of earthy tones. Take it into that inner crease corner there, and it gives just kind of a more dramatic look, even if you're doing a really soft wash of it. I'm just going all in this crease here and starting to just blend it out once I have placed it everywhere I want it. Just using this Birch shade to really deepen up that crease, and then we're going to use a warmer brown to really smoke things out. I'm going to take Slate to really deepen things up in the outer corner, so this outer quarter. I'm going to add a little bit of gray tones here. And lastly, we're going to take rich brown and we're going to smoke things out now. Sticking to that outer corner, and I'm not taking this high up into the crease. I'm just going to take it in there just a smidgen. And again, just kind of the outer third, I guess. And soften the edges that we've created. This rich brown is lovely. It's a wonderful earth tone. The one thing she's done, very gently smoked out the top lash line. We're going to take one of these mini gel eyeliners in the shade Dark Chocolate and use Caviar ink instead, so it's a little bit more ashy and blacky. And then I'm going to very lightly go along this lash line here. Oh, this is a little dry. But considering it's going on okay. Then I'm going to take my trusty smudger brush and just soften that out. Just really smudge it out completely. Basically just want to add a little bit of depth to the lash line. You can do this part with a pencil if you prefer. I just find gel eyeliner is really easy to work with, except this one that's kind of dried out on me. Again, just smudge that out so that it looks soft and more like an eyeshadow. I'm going to do some mascara and some just everyday lashes, and then we will continue. I'm going to throw on some Ardell Wispies that are just really good drugstore everyday lashes to amp things up. Okay, so we have our lashes on. I really like these for everyday wear because for me, my eyelashes just don't do any look, really any style of makeup any justice. So I love to throw these ones on. So now let's do our eyebrows and really kind of help our eyes out and frame them by using the Perfectly Defined Longwear Brow Pencil by Bobbi Brown in the shade Mahogany. Just gonna brush through my brows really quick here. And then start to create that shape. And once I do that, I fill them in. This is a nice, quick, easy way for me to get my eyebrows done. And I find that this shade is a quite natural shade. So again, really great for everyday wear. So once I kind of create that shape, I kind of flip it on its side and try and lightly fill that in. If I went heavy somewhere, then I just grab this spoolie and just brush through and make it a little softer. Plus the spoolie also helps me to see like where I've missed. See that? Okay, so we've got some shape and color in there. It's not perfect. Lately I've been saying that once I have the whole completed look together, things just kind of look a whole lot better instead of when you zero in on one thing and it just drives you crazy that's not perfect. So instead I'm going to step away and finish everything else, and if it still feels like muddy and kind of ugh, which is how it looks right now, I'm going to go on with this little pencil and tweak that, but for now I'm going to move on and finish everything else. Now we are going to do some foundation and concealer so that we can finish the under eyes. I'm going to try one more sample tonight. I'm going to try the Tatcha Silk Canvas because ever since I had my baby about 8 months ago, I have had more congestion in here, which is kind of causing more of an uneven surface. It's just a little bit bumpy, so sometimes right here with my concealer it just doesn't look as smooth as I wish it would. I hear that you're only meant to use a teeny tiny bit, so I'm gonna try and use very, very little. I never use anything for this area, so I hope this works. I'm feeling it kind of set. It has kind of like that slippy silicone feel till I feel like it's kind of set. So hopefully that's wonderful. Then I'm going to take my trusty Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation Stick in the shade 120. I'm going to take my full coverage face brush from Bobbi Brown, and I'm going to dip into the stick itself because this helps prevent me from putting too much on my face. And I put quite a bit on the brush there, so I'm going to balance it out by putting a little bit on both cheeks. But the formula is wonderful. I feel like it really, really makes my skin look HD, even though I can still see it. Like I can still see my freckles and stuff like that. Just evens things out really, really beautifully. And up in here. I always put the least amount on my forehead because I just don't have much going on up there. I don't really have sunspots and veins and all that fun stuff. So I put the least amount there. And I'm going back in with my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, and I'm gonna apply this very generously under my eyeballs. And I wanna take extra care to really brighten my under eyes since I am smoking them out. I don't want to enhance the coloring that I don't like under my eyes. Now it might look like I'm putting a lot, but this is a very, very thin, lightweight formula. And I just find that it goes over my skin really, really well when I just put a generous, even layer. I'm taking my beauty sponge, which is actually not wet because this is kind of like a more of a realistic, I don't have time to do a million other little things. I'm going to quickly set my under eyes with my trusty Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. I always do that so I don't have to worry about my eyes for the rest of the day. Smooth over those creases really quick. And then set my under eye area just in here a little bit. I don't need to go all the way up to the lash line because I'm going to be putting a bunch of that eyeshadow there anyways. So I'm just getting in here and on the sides of my nose because I do wear glasses when I'm driving or watching a movie and things like that. Yeah, her lower lash line is really smoked out. You can see it's really, really smoked out on the bottom. So let's have some fun with that. I'm going to go back into the shade Birch and really, really smoke that one out. And then I'm going to make sure I meet up with that outer corner there. So this is basically like just a daytime earthy, smoky eye. I'm actually going to take a fluffy brush really quick and just kind of clean up over here because I want a little bit nutsy-wutsy. Just kind of knocking that back a notch here. Mama got a little excited. Okay, and then lastly, I'm going to take my little Morphe E36, which is just like a nice little pointed brush. I'm going to dip into rich brown here and then just finish smoking out that lower lash line. Looking at that photo one last time, she made it really, really dark right at the roots there. So I'm going to make sure that I hug that lash line really nicely. And then she stops at pretty much where the lashes stop. She doesn't like go all the way in here or anything like that. She carries on to the outer corner here.
Are you in the middle of filming?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, internet.
I'm not gonna keep that in. Right, so we have that nice brown smoky eyeshadow on the bottom. Now we need to get one of the most important touches on our eyes, and that is to use a nude or white pencil on our lower lash line. So let's do that. I'm gonna use the Rimmel Scandaleyes Waterproof Kohl Kajal. Why do companies have such insanely long titles? So I'm just gonna go like this and just get that on there. I'm gonna do this before my mascara because it gets into the lashes. I'm gonna go all the way. I really like this one. It's so creamy, goes on so well, and actually stays in place pretty dang well. So the last thing we need for sure is lots of mascara on the lower lash line. I want to warm up my face now. I'm going to use my Bobbi Brown bronzer in the shade medium. I mean, the point is not to just duplicate some photo on Pinterest. It's more just like the inspiration for a different day look, you know? And it's just trying to keep in with just the look. I'm gonna add a little bit of color to my nose here, just a little bit of contouring. Just to create that further warmth and definition. This is just a quick little brush to do that. Soften that. And bring it down the neck. She still has quite a prominent flush on her cheeks, so I'm going to use MAC powder blush in the shade Melba. It's just such a good everyday shade, and I think it's really that kind of peachy tone that she has going on that goes really well with these really earthy tones on her eyes. I'm going to use my Japonesque powder brush, stick to the apples here. Last but not least, for our face, we're going to do a fun little highlighting, and this is in the shade Sunset Pink. Here's a nice shimmer brick. And I'm choosing this one because it's really in keeping with the tones on our face. It kind of has those brown strips that match our eyes and some pink, natural pink that goes with the rest of our face. So I feel like this would be a nice gentle highlight if you were wanting to do this kind of look for your everyday look. It's a much softer formula as well. It's not so dang crazy and frosty like what you see on Instagram. I'm actually seeing she has quite a bit of brightness to her inner corner, so I'm going to take my pinky with this lightest strip here and just add this here, which is actually kind of the perfect tone to go with this look with what she has. It's not too frosty again. It's quite soft but still bright. It's just in keeping with that neutral ivory shape we have on our lid. Then lastly, we are just going to throw on a nice neutral lip. You could just leave it at this if you want to just throw a lip balm. Like if you're like me and you have a decent amount of pigment to your lips, you really don't need anything. But I really like the peachy tone she has on her lips that matches her cheeks, so that's what I'm going to do as well. I tried on a few of my nudes that I just love, and I'm thinking one of these last two. This one, that one right there, that is Nude Sticks. I think I'm going to do this one. This is Lip and Cheek Pencil from Nude Sticks in the shade Mystic. I always want to say Mystique. Mwah. Mwah. Yeah, I think so. It's an easy nude. That is just my lips but better. And you can add a little bit to the cheeks. Let's just do it. Let's be wild. Another excellent, wonderful, travel-friendly product. So say you're out and about and you kind of want to amp things up when it gets to nighttime. So you have somewhere to go and you can't really do anything, you know, with your makeup. You can't go home and redo it. This is something you could do. Add to your cheeks and just make them brighter and more rosy. And I love, love matching the tones from your cheeks to your lips. I think it's just gorgeous. Alrighty then, you guys, here is the final look. I hope you love it. I really, really like it. I think it's just so daytime and evening appropriate. It's definitely got a little bit more oomph to it. We've added that light waterline to kind of give a little pizzazz, a little pop, but it's still, I mean, it's neutral. This is another fun look to add to your makeup belt of everyday looks and just mix things up so you're not just doing mascara and lip gloss all the time. Just really push out of yourself, out of your comfort zone, and give this one a shot. And if you do, leave me a comment below and let me know how it goes and what you decide to use and which products made it fun for you. So I really hope you enjoy this, and I appreciate so much you being here with me. So take care, and if you liked it, please subscribe so you can be here with me next time. So I'll see you later. Bye.